What's up, y'all? It's Ty, back here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we're going to be reacting to the video by AM Hoops talking about LeBron lying about his son, Bronny. Now, look, I have no idea where he's going to go with this video, so I'm intrigued to see what AM Hoops has to say about this and give my thoughts and opinions on it as well. Now, make sure to go smash that subscribe button on AM Hoops' page. The guy is absolutely magnificent at what he does. So make sure to go show him mad love and support.
Bronny James is 100% getting drafted after what just happened. Day one at the Combine was awful. 2 of 8 shooting, came in way shorter than people thought. But day 2, everything changed. Game high 13 points with 2 steals.
I was going to say, I thought Bronny had a good Combine overall. So when he said like it was a disaster, I was like, what? But yeah, day 2 was good. Okay.
Best player on the court. But the measurables? Oh, he might be 6'1.5", but a 6'7" plus wingspan and a 40.5-inch vertical. That compares to like a Gary Payton II. Athletic defense first guard.
I mean, I don't hate the comparison here to Gary Payton at all. 6'1.5" is crazy short, though. That's crazy short.
So maybe he can be a role player in the league. LeBron was there to watch his son, but now he is putting out a message that is an obvious lie. Oh, LeBron thinks he's fooling everyone, but if you listen close, you can see what he's actually doing. But the NBA playoffs have been so much fun. In floor or whatever players in mind, let me give you my pick here again. This is if you're tailing its champions in bonus. Also, his promo code AMHoops. So Bronny didn't just impress with his game, but also his maturity. He sat down for the first time with the media and said all the right things. Compared himself to Drew Holiday, Derek White, and Davion Mitchell.
I mean, I see the Davion Mitchell too, for sure. Derek White, Drew Holiday is kind of crazy to say he's that level. I do see the Davion Mitchell. My thing is like, Bronny is probably trained to say the right thing. So even if you're like, oh, well, he's just doing this, doing that. Well, I mean, what is he supposed to do? You want to say the right things in an interview. Even when you go into a job interview, you should have repetition in what the questions are going to be that you're supposed to be asked and prepared for it, like Bronny probably was.
Guards who excel in their role with defense. In fact, the scout said, Davion Mitchell is an interesting comparison to hear him point out. It showed he's realistic in thinking about this.
That's what I'm saying, like Davion Mitchell is realistic. It is. It's genuinely realistic.
Kid isn't arrogant and entitled for being LeBron's son. But still, not everyone was blown away. Some anonymous scouts told ESPN, should be a point guard based on his size, but he can't run an offense.
Which probably is valid. It's probably valid. But you don't think he can dribble and get players in there into the offense?
Or he is not an NBA prospect in my opinion.
I mean, I'll say this. I think if he wasn't Bronny James, like if he wasn't LeBron's son, you're probably right on that.
So if not for day 2, Bronny probably doesn't get drafted. Instead, all we're hearing about is his NBA future and nothing on the transfer portal to another school. But one front office who interviewed him was the LA Lakers, who have the 17th and 55th pick in the 2nd round. LeBron obviously wants that, but Stephen A. Smith said, not so fast.
Bronny James might not make it to the Lakers' 2nd round pick because if a team like the Dallas Mavericks could position themselves to get him in the 2nd round, they'll take him.
Now I'm going to be honest with you. Couple different things I want to point out. I did a video, it was on my old channel, but I was talking about like the best 2nd round picks of all time. And basically in every single draft in the 2nd round, there came a really good all-star level player. And I'm not hating on Bronny James specifically. But if you can get that type of player on a cheap contract, I don't like the whole term of 2nd round picks are useless or worthless. I don't like that term, especially early in the 2nd round. So if you're planning on taking Bronny James early in the 2nd round just to get LeBron James, like I get it. And if you're a win now team, you probably got to do it. But not all teams are going to be doing that or thinking that. Now, again, if you're coming off, let's say, the Mavericks or, heck, the Timberwolves, I would have no issues if the Timberwolves took Bronny James if they thought they could get LeBron James too.
Because LeBron said he wants to go where his son goes. And if you're the Dallas Mavericks, and you got Kyrie, and you got Luka, and LeBron James is willing to come to Big D, Dallas, Texas, that might be the first time something's more popular than the Cowboys.
Whoa, what? Oh yes, odds on FanDuel say lots of teams could consider this. The Lakers big favorites at plus 160, but behind them are the Jazz, Knicks, and Sixers, Thunder, and Heat.
Where are my Timberwolves? But literally, if you have a pick and you're trying to win now, I mean, you don't think Joel Embiid wants LeBron James?
Mavs not on there, maybe they're behind on Stephen A. Smith's report. But this all depends on LeBron James being a package deal. He has said for years he wants to play with his son. Even if it's not this year, eventually. At the 2022 All-Star, he said, "My last year will be played with my son. Wherever Bronny is at, that's where I'll be. I would do whatever it takes to play with my son for 1 year. It's not even about the money at that point."
I'm going to be honest, and this is just me. Who won it? Who wouldn't want their last year in the NBA to be with their son? Like, I hope this video is not hating on LeBron, and I get it's a business, but it's the way life works. You should want to play with your son. So if he's gonna hate on LeBron for saying this, I'm gonna get mad.
How much more direct can you get? But then Shams comes out. He is also represented by Clutch Sports. Rich Paul may have gotten in Shams' ear and said, "Squash this thing immediately."
If a team does reach out and says, "Hey, if we draft Bronny James, would you come as well, LeBron?" And the answer to that is going to be no.
Okay, the answer is no, all of a sudden. So LeBron has walked his message back recently, but now...
I get what he's saying. Because I'm in the belief that Bron does want to play with his son. I'm in belief of that, and I think, you know, it was like during the game or something. I think Rich Paul slipped up and said Bron is a free agent or something like that. Like, Bron is gonna get to play with his son, and he's going to play with his son. So
now it's a flat out no. Why? Because he's scared of teams trying to get him. You should have thought about that years ago when you were saying the exact opposite, LeBron. Now it's like a month away, and LeBron's like, never mind, I don't want to play with him that bad. Do not draft him. Well, too late, LeBron. Teams know what you really think. And
exactly, teams know he wants to play with Bronny. So even if, let's say, for example, he's not going to want to come play in Minnesota. LeBron James is not. So let's say the Minnesota Timberwolves draft Bronny James. He's a big-time trade piece then. You can use that as leverage. This is uncharted territory in the NBA, but I'm telling you, Bron wants to play with his son.
Even if he doesn't play year one with Bronny, Luka will be in his prime a long time. They can wait another year or two. In fact,
so can Anthony Edwards, by the way.
Bronny is even saying this. Maybe he was coached here, or maybe it's genuine, but Bronny slapped down playing with his dad.
As he should.
Serious business. And I don't feel like there would be like a thought of I'm just drafting this kid just because of I'm gonna get his dad. Like I don't think a GM would really allow that.
Oh, yeah, a GM wouldn't want, you know, an all-star who averages 26 points and 8 assists, second best player of all time. This is a serious business.
Behind Wilt Chamberlain, by the way.
That would never happen. So why are they talking about this? Because along with the Mavericks, Yahoo is reporting the Utah Jazz are serious.
Because why wouldn't they be? Why would any team not be serious? Again, even if LeBron makes it clear, I don't want to go play with Bronny because he's in Utah. Well, guess what? Trade Bronny to wherever Bron wants to go, and I'm sure that team that Bron wants to play for is going to trade a lot for Bronny James.
They will interview Bronny and could take him with the 32nd pick. This is getting real. What other teams are out there? Actually, considering the Lakers have the 55th pick, almost every team is above them.
That's what I'm
Assuming
saying.
Bronny does not go in the first round. LA has the 55th pick. So that means way down the draft board.
Y'all see who's at 37, right? Y'all see who's at 37. I'm just throwing that name out there.
Almost every team.
If he's there at 37, I'm going to want the Timberwolves to draft him. I just am. Why would you not?
Will get a chance to draft Bronny. And by the way, most guys pick this low, don't have an NBA career anyway.
Most
so
don't,
why not?
but there are a lot of second rounders that end up panning out.
So naturally, LeBron is freaked out by this. Imagine the Heat at the 43rd pick. LeBron's already played for Eric Spoelstra. They need a piece to put them over the top, and probably more of a contender than LA at this point. What about the Spurs at 36? Victor Wembanyama.
Man, Wemby and Brown would be
LeBron,
movies.
or the Thunder, who could trade in the second round. LeBron loves their GM Sam Presti. or the Suns. I mean, this would be the most
Ew.
Matt Ishbia thing ever.
It would,
Some
though.
crazy-
It would, though. The Suns owner would do something like this 100%, but it's not crazy.
Crazy billionaire whose team
This
is in
is
trouble.
smart.
He's got no picks to move. He's like, draft Bronny. So a team like the Mavericks could call LeBron's bluff and see if he's actually lying. But what would he do then? Well, LeBron plans to opt out of his contract and become a free agent. At that point, his options are to sign a 2+1 max deal in LA, or sign a 1+1 deal to be a free agent again next year, or sign with another team for a max of $157 million. Does he want to run it back in LA? What did showing up courtside at that Cavs game actually mean? LeBron's obviously trying to pressure the front office to do what he wants. It's similar to how he openly flirted with the Knicks right before the trade deadline. Coincidence? No, he wanted them to make moves. But what does LeBron want? Well, Stephen A says it's two things. Number one,
LeBron wants to play with Bronny. Like, I don't think that should be a question.
draft Bronny. Number two, hire JJ Redick as head coach. I know it sounds crazy to have your
He does, and that's the truth.
job be for the LA Lakers, but I mean, Steve Kerr did this in Golden State.
Man, but y'all gotta realize, like, there's so much more pressure in LA than even Golden State. I mean, those fans are ruthless. They don't even give a coach a chance.
And at the time, teams like the Knicks were begging to get Steve Kerr. He went to the Warriors and won 4 rings. But Stephen A says he's not guessing that LeBron wants these things. He says it's 100% what he wants. But the third thing, and probably the most important, is to improve the Lakers roster. They have 3 first.
Because if you look at the Lakers roster, man, like, they have enough talent. They just gotta figure out the roster construction. That's all they've got to do.
Round picks to trade for a star this offseason. Rumors have connected them with Trae Young.
Trae Young is not who they need, man. They do not need Trae Young. Man, they need a guy like I'm just going to throw out a name, a Drew Holiday. That's who, like, the type of player they need. Somebody like him. Somebody that can get you stops, gives you the occasional bucket, and is just a winning player. I know they're not going to get Drew, obviously. I'm just saying that's the type of player they need.
Donovan Mitchell, maybe DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte Murray would be perfect for Los Angeles. I'll be the one to say it. If you don't want to, I'll be the one
In
to say it.
LeBron's world, he is being coached by JJ Redick and playing alongside Spider Mitchell and his son Bronny.
Now, Bronny would get DNPs, 100%. If you're trying to win a championship, Bronny in his first year at least is getting DNPs.
But if all of that falls apart, why wouldn't he leave the Lakers? The obvious conference to win a chip is the East. The only
100%.
real contender there is the Celtics. In the West,
Boston might be the best. I think Boston's the best team in the league, though.
you've got the Nuggets and the Wolves and the Mavs and the Thunder are coming up. LeBron might say, I will not leave LA to play with my son. But if the Lakers don't listen to his demands, there is a legit chance he's lying. But have you seen the
I think Bron's out. I genuinely do. I think he wants to play with his son, 100%.
Cleveland Cavaliers offseason rumors? They easily have the wildest offseason in the NBA. Almost every big star could
Imagine if LeBron goes back to Cleveland and wins a championship. That would be a movie.
get traded. But the crazy
I'll become a Bron fan if that happens.
part is we know the exact date that all the chaos will happen.
That's fire. That's fire. And it's true, man, because LeBron wants to play with his son, and he's walking back all of the comments he initially made. Bron, we know. Great video by AM Hoops. Initially, I thought he was going to attack Bron, but it's the truth. Like, Bron should want to play with his son. He does, but he's trying to control the situation. But he doesn't have control anymore, and that's just the truth. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.